campaign goes by the name of Move It or Lose It. We prepared this with members Melissa, Brady, Malik, John Sutherland, Ashima, as well as Kenway Brown. Basically, the objective of our campaign are to define physical activity, inactivity, and exercise, define non-communicable diseases, as well as define body mass index, state the types of physical activities, indicate why persons are inactive and the risk factors of being physically inactive, present statistical data for Jamaica and other countries, present the benefits of physical activities, also to state the governmental organization and programs that are in aid of physical activity, as well as provide location of gyms and live workout sessions. Yeah.
Alright, so first we'll start by saying what is physical activity. So physical activity is any bodily movement that is produced by the skeletal muscles, and it requires energy to be expended. Energy expenditure. And physical inactivity is used to identify individuals who do not get the recommended levels of physical activity. Physical exercise now is the performance of activities in order to develop or maintain physical fitness and overall health. So this whole idea of physical activity is geared towards the prevention of non-communicable diseases. So non-communicable diseases are chronic diseases of a long time period that are not transmitted from person to person. So these non-communicable diseases are under the groups of heart disease, which include stroke and heart attacks, coronary respiratory disease, which include chronic obstruction pulmonary disease, which is also known as COPD, and asthma, also cancer and diabetes, as well as obesity. So non-communicable diseases are the leading cause of death in the world, and they represent 63% of the world's annual death, and non-communicable disease put to death more than 30 million people each year. Approximately 80% of all non-communicable disease are in low to middle income range countries. According to the World Health Organization, approximately 80% of all heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes, and over 40% of cancer could have been prevented or eliminated if the individual was physically active. So now we're going to talk about body mass index, also known as BMI. So now we'll speak about body mass index. So body mass index, also known as BMI, is the individual's weight in kilograms over their height in meters. So body mass index indicates the composition of fat in the person's body. And it's also used to group individuals in weight categories, and also used in the initial diagnosis of obesity. So in the slide, there is the body mass index chart that tells you the range. If you're over 30, there are like 3 degrees of obesity. And if you're in the group of 30 to 35, that's first degree, 35 to 40, second degree, and if you're over 40, it's third degree. The normal range is 18.5 and 24. If you're overweight, it's 24 to 30, and if you have first degree obesity, it's 30 to 35, second degree obesity, 35 to 40, and if it's over 40, that is third degree obesity. Also in the slide, there's a chart, so you can do it on your own time and see where you lie.
Alright, so we're going to look at physical activities, and based on the type of exercise that you do, there is mainly 3 types of exercises. The first one is aerobic exercise. It speaks to how the body uses oxygen in order to carry out physical activity. So it includes activities such as running, swimming, or cycling, so that the body can use oxygen more. This type of oxygen, it usually lasts around 20 minutes, and it is geared towards putting exercise extensively on the muscles so that you can condition yourself to do the other type of exercise that I'm going to speak about. And this other type is called anaerobic exercise. As the name suggests, it involves exercise of high intensity without oxygen. So it focuses on building the body with power, muscle, and strength. And it lasts no longer than 2 minutes. So it includes weightlifting, sprinting, intensive exercising, and fast skipping with a rope, or any rapid burst of activity. The third type of physical activity is agility training, and this type of exercise involves utilization of the senses where positioning, coordination, speed, and balance are used to improve physical activities. Examples include soccer, volleyball, badminton, martial arts, and boxing.
Alright, so the recommendations for physical activities for the UK is basically children from 5 to 18 years old should at least work out 60 minutes or have physical activity for 60 minutes every day. For adults between the ages of 19 and 64, they should have at least 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity per week. And for adults 65 and over, they should have at least 150 minutes of moderate aerobic exercises and strength exercises 2 days per week. For Jamaica, the recommendation is for each adult to have at least 30 minutes each day to gain some physical health benefits, as well as 1 hour each day to lose weight and 1.5 hours each day to lose and maintain a healthy weight. Alright, so the reasons for physical inactivity include insufficient participation in physical activities during recreational time, as well as increase in sedentary behavior. This may be due to occupation or domestic factors. An increase in the use of passive modes of transportation such as cars, which would reduce the amount of walking we mentioned before. Increased urbanization, which results in violence, high density traffic, pollution, lack of parks, sidewalks, and schools. Also, a sedentary and inactive lifestyle means that you get no formal exercise and are not physically active during the day. Sedentary lifestyle can increase the risk of the following complications, including cardiovascular diseases, type 2 diabetes, cancer, and osteoporosis. Thus, being physically inactive tends to decrease the sense of overall well-being.
So, due to physical inactivity, based on that concept, a lot of body organs can be compromised. These include the lungs, skin, muscles and joints, heart, stomach, bones, or other organs. The most important ones, well, the skin, lack of physical inactivity can lead to unhealthy skin and hair exhaustion, headaches, low moods, and difficulties in concentrating. The bones, you can have weakened bones, and this can over time cause osteoporosis. The heart, lack of physical activity will cause the heart to grow weak, and it becomes a strain to basically the other parts of the body.
Jamaica's Vision 2030 National Development Plan, which is to make Jamaica a place of choice to live, work, raise family, and do business, is affected drastically by the presence of non-communicable diseases. Due to the presence of the risk factors such as physical inactivity, 7 out of 10 Jamaicans are predicted to die from non-communicable diseases. According to Jamaica's Health and Lifestyle Survey, the third one, which was taken between 2016 and 2017, 82% of Jamaicans engage in low physical activity, 16% of Jamaicans engage in moderate physical activity, and 2% engage in high physical activity. So, according to the Global Recommendation of Physical Activity for Health, which was developed by the World Health Organization, physical activity can be reduced global mortality by 60%, ischemic heart disease by 30%, diabetes by 27%, and breast and colon cancer by 21 to 25%. Okay, and in the presentation, we also have a chart that gives us other diseases in which physical activity can reduce, which includes dementia by up to 30%, hip fractures up to 68%, depression, which I know most college students go through, up to 30%, and also, according to the US Health Department, 28% or 80.2 million of Americans aged between 6 and older are physically inactive, and more than 80% of both the adults and adolescent groups do not meet the guidelines for physical activity. And also in the daily in Canada, which was a survey taken in 2016 to 2017, approximately 40% of children between 5 and 17 met the recommended target for physical activity, and 16% of adults between 18 and 79 met the physical recommendations.
Good afternoon. I'll be now speaking on the various benefits for physical activity. One of the benefits for physical activity is that one, it can reduce the risk of a person getting a heart attack. So when a person is physically active, this reduces the chances of blood clot in our body and increases the proper blood flow throughout our body. Also, physical activity can also help to reduce, as mentioned earlier, such as obesity, and also physical activity can also reduce a person's chance of developing type 2 diabetes. Also, another benefit of physical activity is it helps to reduce the cholesterol in our person's body, as through exercise or any form of physical activity, this will increase the high lipophilic density concentration in our body, and this is a compound that is integral in lessening cholesterol that will be in our arteries, and which can also reduce our chance of getting a heart attack. Another benefit of physical activity is it reduces a person's chance of getting high blood pressure. So through physical activity, we can strengthen the muscles within our heart, and it's going to require less pumping of the heart to get proper blood flow throughout our body. Also, through physical activity, we can help to strengthen our bones and joints, and this will reduce our chance of contracting or developing diseases such as osteoporosis. In addition to physical and systemic benefits of exercise, there are also psychological benefits for a person who is physically active. So a person who is physically active, this will help to increase their mood, help to overcome some of the symptoms of depression, and symptoms which include withdrawal and mood swing. And it can also, through physical activity, help a person reduce stress, which is very much evident in most college students' life because of our hectic workload. So a way in which physical activity helps to improve our psychological well-being is through it improves the functioning of our brain. So through physical activity and exercise, chemicals such as endorphin and serotonin can be released throughout our body. And when this chemical is released in our body, it helps to improve our mood and let us have a more optimistic look on life. We now have Melissa, who will be speaking about various governmental organizations that help to aid with physical activity and exercise in Jamaica.
The governmental organization that aids in the promotion of physical activities in Jamaica is the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The Ministry of Health and Wellness have promoted a number of programs over the years, One of these programs is the Physical Activity Guide and Toolkit for the Workplace. This program was launched in 2015. The aim of the program was to reduce inactivity among Jamaicans by at least 5% over the next 5 years. And this program was pretty successful because it got positive feedback from a number of organizations. Another program that was launched is the Jamaica Moves program. It is a school initiative and it was successfully received by 33 schools across the island. The aim of this program was to influence teachers and students to participate in healthy lifestyles in order to reduce their risk of non-communicable diseases in the future.
On this slide, we're going to show in Kingston and Mobay area where persons can go just in case if they want to join a gym and develop a physical lifestyle. So locations we have are Express Fitness, which is located in New Kingston, Halfway Tree, 150 Old Oak Road, Manor Plaza, which is at Constance Road, and also in Montego Bay. We also have a Fit Farm Fitness Club that is located at 2 Upper Beermore Avenue, Kingston 5. And I'd also like to discuss that physical activity does not necessarily mean lifting of weights. You can also become physical active through different dance moves. And at this point, I'd like to also mention that there's a yoga dance studio that is also located in the Kingston area where persons can go and use it as an alternative to become physically active. And this yoga dance studio is located at Bamboo Avenue within Kingston. I'd also like to take this opportunity to mention that you don't necessarily have to go to a gym to become physically active. You can download various apps on the Google Play Store and do various exercises in the comfort of your home. Also, if you're an alma mater of various high schools within the Kingston area, they will allow you access to their gym, and you can use various go online also and download various YouTube videos which can use to help to do exercise in your own comfort and your own time. We'll now have Rashid who will be depicting various physical activities using two equipment that are predominantly found in a gym.
The first exercise that I will go ahead and demonstrate will be working your glutes as well as your hamstring as well as your quadriceps. This is the famous one that the ladies know, and always you don't need an extra weight, but it's always good to add resistance to your exercise. This is known as the squat, and I'll go ahead. All you need to do is put your legs a little bit wider than shoulder width, as well as you just bend your knees. Come up explosively. So it's basically this, just repeating, and you can do about 10 to 12 reps, 3 sets, and you should be good. Another exercise that I will show is the bicep curl, which is basically for your bicep trachea, as you heard it in the name. All you need to do is keep the weight to your arm, to the side, and curl. Ensure that your arm is not moving up like this. Ensure your arm is in line with the axis of your body. So you start down here, and you go up. And repeat. And repeat. Alright, another one I'll be showing you is the tricep extension. This will be working the tricep, which is opposite to your bicep. It's the antagonist muscle to your bicep. Alright, so all you do is keep your hand on your waist to support your core, as well as your raise and go up down. Raise and go down. Raise. That's it. Another exercise that I can show you is with a roll up, where all you have to do is go on the floor, get onto your knees. This might be a little bit advanced if you don't really have prior core strength, but yeah, it's really good for your core. So all you do is roll. It's pretty easy. Roll as far as you can. Don't let your stomach touch the floor, and you return. Roll. And you return. Another important one, which can help with your daily activities and improve hormonal production, is the famous push-up. Just plank, go in a plank position, and keep your head up, look straight, keep your head in line with your body, and you go down, and you come up. Try to contract your chest muscles, because this is a chest exercise. You go up. As you can see, I'm already breaking a sweat. Alright, so that's basically it.
We have now come to the end of our presentation, and at this time we have a prize to give away. So I'd like to ask a volunteer to step forward and do 10 push-ups as one of the workout that was depicted, and state 2 benefits of physical activity and exercise. You volunteer?
I volunteer.
10. Can you tell us 2 benefits of physical activity and exercise?
One benefit is increased strength, and another benefit is increased cardiovascular health.
Yeah. This is your prize. Thank you for giving us your undivided attention, and we'll also like to say that these are references from where we obtain our information.